Hello, Vanange. How are you all? Welcome to the Revolutionary Spa. I am your host, Sophia Sebi. Tuli wano about our mindset. Our mindset. This program, it is about our mindset. It's about gwengo muntu, purposeful action. I am so pleased to be here this evening. Gamanyi tufenna to getting ready for aba celebrating Christmas, New Year. I'm sure mwetegeka, you're all getting prepped up. You're all getting ready to have some calm down time, some me time, to have some relaxation time. Kyenva ngambye nti no sigenda kugenda wadde mbadde nyina gyendaga for family time. Nene ngamba, it's important that I come and have a chat with you, give you an encouraging message for the end of the year. Ate nga tunaddamu okulabagana towards the end of the year. Tuli ku 24th, kandabe wano, tuli ku 24th, so my next time with you all, ejja kuba eri when? Well, the next Friday, and I'm hoping tinja kuba nammwe. Naye mbadde feeling bulungi weekend. I wasn't feeling too great this week, but I just thought it's important that I come and, have some time with you, be able to say a word or two. Maybe, just maybe it will give someone out there some encouragement. Maybe just was someone out there, especially all those that have not yet tuned into UNN TV. You'll have some encouragement to say, I'm going to be part of the UNN family to take the revolution to a next level. Maybe some of you will say, I'm going to take a revolution or a revolutionary attitude into 2022. Okubantino, I take this seriously. Of course, as much as you take things seriously, you can also have fun along the way. Neng, of course, attitude ya ferinti, twekomako maybe at having that fun. When you're having that fun, is it adding to something of substance, or is it not adding something to the revolutionary you? Once again, show idea about revolutionary spa, which means revolutionary self, purposeful action. You will be taking revolutionary outlook on our attitude. Today's topic, idea about revolutionary attitude towards our revolutionary self. So we're bobanga or taking a revolutionary attitude towards yourself, or taking a revolutionary attitude towards others. What is it that you're going to be doing for 2022? Oba biki byogenda okugamba nti no ngenda kuwandiika what my attitude is going to be. How am I going to take myself in the next couple of weeks? What am I going to do to ensure nti nina revolutionary attitude? How am I going to do that? Sigenda kwegagenda nnyo mu, a lot of academics and so on and so forth, because this is calming down towards the end of the year. Ngate mba njagala nti no, you start reflecting on the year since 2020 December, when we were all very emotional about the revolution in Uganda, the start of the revolution. I'm sure it started many years ago. Naye kati tulimu taking action revolution. It's no longer about lamenting. Tetucha lamentinga. We're not, crying victim. We're not crying victim for someone else to rescue us. Our attitude, erinti, we can rescue ourselves. We can take a self-purposeful action by rescuing ourselves. Kamu kamu gwe muganda. What does that mean? Is that one at a time. You cannot make a big puzzle of you cannot make a big puzzle of a small puzzle, or you cannot make a big puzzle of a larger puzzle. You can only make a puzzle from one piece at a time. If it's making one puzzle from one piece at a time, you are the piece of that puzzle. So imagine nga puzzles zonna zigetinze together, how we could be. Imagine the attitude, taking our attitude. Each one of us taking an attitude of I can do. Taking an attitude of helping each other, helping thy neighbor. Imagine if we all took a personal responsibility to this revolution, an attitude of a personal responsibility to this revolution, how much we can achieve. Don't wait for someone else. Don't wait for someone else to take action first. You take action first, or you do your bit. Gwe kola ekintu ky'osobola okukola in your own way. Oba ogenda gamba nti no, you need to completely renew yourself. How do I mean by renew yourself? Ngam bwe mulabye from episode 1, 2, 3, tubadde tugamba nti you need to rebrand, you need to reinvent, you need to completely wipe out your old you. Of course, some things ebibeera mu old selves of us, bwe biba bituyamba, we take them forward into the next chapter. N'ebintu ebisinga biba tebituyamba. How about you give yourself a resolution as we come to the end of the year, into the new year? Know yourself a resolution. No gamba, this year I am not going to spend it in bars and clubs. I am going to spend it reading about federalism, or I am going to spend it reading about how can I revolutionize my mindset so that I can go into a changed self in the new year. How many books am I going to read about self-development? How many books or how many audios am I going to listen to? Is it about how can I change my mindset, my attitude towards life will determine life's attitude towards you. That is our topic today. So tugenda kubeera wano for quite a short time. It will be probably about up to 45 minutes. Nga we mbagambye, I have not been feeling well, but I'll be well, God willing. So sagala taking a lot of I suppose a lot of time going over things that we've gone over before, but I want to get this message really down, really into you, to give you the sort of few words of reflection or a few words of encouragement that will help you to decide, to discern, Ntino, if I'm going to go into the revolution. It's no longer about talking. Techiri about yourself. You need to put emotions aside. No gamba, how do I strategically place myself in this revolution nga manyi nti no ngenda ku when I know that I'm going to completely revolutionize my mindset, I'm going to change my attitude towards others. I'm going to do things much more radically. For instance, neighbor wange ngenda kumutreatinga in a much different way than I was treating them before. Abantu bano abali maybe kati nga bamulaba ku Facebook tuyina, there's a lot of, or social media, in fact, not just Facebook, naye social media eyina a lot of wrangles, to the back and forth, backbiting, or, sort of being argumentative, arrogant, and feeling like we're entitled to the space that we've never created in the first place. But some others feel that they need to be on this space more than others. How are you going to react to those people that are telling you you do not belong? It's about getting your mindset into the right attitude to stand your ground and be able to say, I actually belong. I have a right to be in this space here. I have a right to say something. I have a right to comment, but I will comment with knowledge, with evidence. Like all you when UNNians, when we come with evidence, we do research. So we need to, all of us, have a different attitude. You're not Joraga, wherever you go and you find someone provoking you, instead of you saying something silly back, how about you provoke them back with evidence, with backup, after you've connected the dots? So today is quite special. I'm going to go through just a little bit of a story of mine, and something I wrote, and I want to say to you, Ntino, your attitude towards life is life's attitude towards yourself. So if you have an attitude towards life that is a victim, life is going to treat you as a victim. If you go into life thinking that you are not capable, life is going to treat you as incapable. If you go through life wanting to be rescued, always not confident, or feeling like you're helpless, when every time we feel helpless, life treats us like that. So let's go into 2022 and years beyond this point, or the next couple of weeks of 2021 into 2022, with renewed mindset, with a good attitude, with positive attitude, as opposed to be optimistic about life. Life will be optimistic to you. Philosophical thought egamba nti there's laws of universal laws, or laws of the universe. So if you have negative energy, that energy will come back to you. If you have positive energy, that energy will come back to you. If you approach life with optimism, that will be the case. You will also have optimistic results. If you approach life with a can-do attitude, life will treat you the same way. So our attitude towards life is life's attitude towards us. Put into the world, or to life, what you'd like to get out of life. Tosola gamantino, you put into life nothing and you expect everything. You need to put in everything, and that starts with you, your neighbor, your family, your community, your country. Whatever you can do, wherever you are, start from wherever you are. You do not have to have millions to give life what life deserves. You do not have to have thousands and thousands of pounds or shillings or dollars in the account. Excuse me. So for you to be able to say, I have given, life is not, wealth is not about just money. It's not about riches. Wealth is bigger than the material things. Wealth is bigger than the things that you see. Wealth is not about what you can see. It's much, much bigger. So please think about yourselves. What is it about life that you're going to go into the next few days or the next week of 2021 into 2022? What is your attitude towards life? It will determine life's attitude towards you. If I could just start off, I'll start off with a story of once a young girl. This is a personal story of once a young girl whose thoughts saved them because of their attitude towards life, of optimism. They also were able to have the results, or life, their thoughts saved them because having that right mindset, a positive of optimism has also saved them as an adult. Okay, here it goes. My thoughts saved me. Someone once said, it does not go wrong, it starts wrong. I'm sure some of you will understand when I say that, or who you understand who this someone once said. We become what we think about most of the time. Let me just get I beg your pardon, my mouse. We become what we think about most of the time. Our life is a collection of stories. So we become what we create. We create what we think about most of the time. This statement resonates with me deeply, which is the reason why I feel compelled to share with you one of my personal stories. Maybe, just maybe, some of you who may not personally know me may have some insight or a little understanding of who I am. Maybe someone may understand why I do the things that I do. Maybe some will find inspiration and courage to do the things you have been putting off doing and not taking personal responsibility for. It is a sunny morning on a weekday. As I often do from a school run, I get to have interesting and meaningful conversations with one of the parents who I call a friend. We often talk about life philosophically in general. This time was no different. As we walked briskly back from school to get on about our day's responsibilities or duties, we talked about a most recent trip they had taken to Africa. The conversation was about their experience during the trip, specifically about the behavior of some of their travel companions. My friend expressed how frustrated they were with the companions during the trip. They described how the companions, who happened to be British-born nationals, spent most of their time complaining about what was not good, how bad services were, food this, roads that, and so on. My friend then said, look at you. You are probably where you were, meaning me in life, because of your self-belief, resilience growing up in Africa. My friend asked me if I was always this way, or was it because of my work as a social worker? This is the trigger for some of the reasons why I wanted to share my story with you. At that moment, I also got the courage to share with my friends some things that had happened in my childhood that I don't often share with many people. I responded to my friend that their observation of my character was likely to be true for the most part. I firmly believe we become what we believe or think to be, and that we are captains of our ships. So for the next 10-20 minutes, we talked about how beneficial it would be if most of us, as a Black or African race or Ugandan, accepted this narrative or perspective of a good attitude towards life, of optimism. We would be much more advanced rather than being stuck in the past. We often blame others for our challenges and remove ourselves from the situation that has caused our challenges or has caused our plight. As we continued to talk with my friend, I also shared that when I look back at my early life, as a young girl growing up in Uganda, I could have had many reasons to give up or why I should be broken. I would have given up or complained about my life or what keeps going wrong. I shared some of my deepest adverse childhood experiences to give context. Feelings of abandonment from my parents, although my parents did not intend to abandon. But because of the civil war, the corporal punishment, for instance, as well, in boarding schools, the broken trust in the adults supposed to protect me, the uncles or aunties, moving from one household to household, death, illness. As I was growing up as a young girl, I grew up in the pandemic of HIV, AIDS. So I saw a lot of death, a lot of illness. And of course, coupled with the bad healthcare system that we have in Uganda. The list goes on. So my friend asked me an interesting question, which I have never been asked before, by the way. So what made you go through it? Meaning life struggles, challenges. Have you always been that way, or is it because of your education, your profession now? Well, I must say it was a breath of fresh air, I thought. I didn't have to think much about why. I knew exactly why. I said to my friend that I believed I was made this way from a young age. I shared that I had to have strength and giving up was not an option. I shared that I have always felt to be resilient and strong-willed despite the adversities. I learned very earlier on to go into myself mentally and psychologically by blocking out the negative world experiences. In addition to growing up without daily care from my mom or from my dad, I believed I subconsciously put up safeguards to keep myself safe from going insane. I remember I would daydream about the joy I would feel the day I would see my mother walking towards me or through the door, manifesting my future. I kept the memory of my mother's beautiful face, her scent, her gentleness, smile so vivid, and mostly the joy I would feel when I saw her again. So, whenever I felt scared, I felt unsafe or worried, I would daydream or hold these feelings to heart very close, which saved me from some of the darkness I had encountered. I shared with my friend that what also made me who I am today were the strong women and men, most especially my late grandmother. May she rest in peace. My aunts and uncles who showed me, and of course, my sisters, my cousins, the extended family who showed me love and strength to carry on, no matter the challenges. Of course, I would cry myself to sleep at times or whenever I felt sad, but for the most part, I never let these experiences, I mean the negative experiences, get into my head, or as I have evolved, I have not let them take over my being to affect my present and my future. I also shared with my friend that I come from a culture that has not always believed in therapeutic help, like counseling or talking about emotional stuff. I'm sure you know what I mean when I say that. So I never got any help or counseling then. Anyway, I also never shared some of the abuse out of shame. Although as I got older, in my teens, when more, some of the more abuse happened, I had shared with an aunt, but nothing was done about it. We have never spoken of it to date. It remained our secret. I don't often share this part of my life from fear of people feeling sorry for me. I am strong, I am okay. I choose not sharing for fear of having to relive the experiences or giving it power and let it be my daily living. It is not. I don't want to lament, spend energy thinking about these experiences as it would give them life. After all, thoughts become things, and our attitude towards life is life's attitude towards us. We are what we create, and we become what we think about most of the time. So I intentionally don't give these stories a lot of time so they don't stay true for me now, in my present or future. And I get on with my life. I have chosen to talk about these stories today because I am mentally strong and I am being intentional and purposeful by choosing to share them. I can lock them away where they remain in my subconscious mind until I need to share for a positive cause like this one. Why am I sharing them now? Well, I don't want sympathy, but want to impress upon you that we have the power within us to choose which story of our lives we become. Like the saying goes, where energy flows, energy goes. This is true of ourselves. I could have chosen to leave the story of my past. I could have blamed everyone else about my plight of my adverse childhood experiences. If I did, what would become of me? I would probably not have the confidence to be here with you. I don't believe I would have survived, at least not psychologically, because I have plenty of opportunities not to. With many options readily available in the world on how not to survive. I could have chosen to take drugs, be an out of control teenager, early pregnancy, get involved in abusive relationships, or stay in controlling relationships, but I have not. You want to know why? I have chosen a different path, a path from within my mindset. I have strategically, even if I didn't realize it then, created my own world within. I chose to be positive. Well, how did I do this? First, hope. As a child, my daydreaming, or call it what you will, helped me. It helped me to hold on to the hope of the future, the hope I would see my mother again, hope I would see my father again. I would be reunited with my father or my mother. A bright future awaiting with the sweet memories of my mom, remembering her sweet scent, smile, face, her kindness. Through building castles in my head or my mind, I believe saved me from drowning from the feelings of abandonment, being unwanted or dirty. Today, hope continues to save me from the past and present challenges or adversities. Second, healing and letting go. I chose to let go through not giving the negative things like grudges, anger, bitterness, fear. I chose not to give them power by locking them away in the deepest part of my mind, not thinking about them, not lamenting, as I always say, all the time, or sharing them with anyone who I do not trust, I was not confident would help me get rid of them. Sometimes we trust the wrong people who use our deepest secrets to break our trust. Thirdly, forgiveness. Most importantly, I forgave myself wholly. Otherwise, if you don't forgive yourself, if it often leads to destructive behavior or behaviors, I then forgave my abusers, my parents, or the adults who I believed were supposed to protect me but didn't, breaking my trust. I realized I did not like myself being angry or bitter. And revenge always ends in hurting yourself. Even if I thought about it at times, like slashing someone's tires, keying their car, I realized at a younger age that these feelings were unnatural, the feelings of anger, of unforgiveness. They were natural to my being, not serving me. They did not serve me at all to reach my higher power, my peak performance. So years later, I started to verbalize with my mother, stepfather, what my negative feelings were, and all who had hurt me, that I forgave them. Later, shared my negative experiences. So fourth, healing and cleansing. internally and externally. The internal healing, I believe, as the most important. I have come to realize in my growth and evolution, when the time was right, I independently sought support in the form of counseling. I started the healing process as I realized that it was okay to talk, so I can offload the baggage to break myself from the bondage, the chains. And I talked to someone who is a professional because I could, I suppose, trust them with the information than maybe someone close. It was easier being brutally honest. Remember in our previous episodes, episode 1, 2, and 3, you need to be brutally honest with yourself. If you're going to break from your bondage, from the chains that hold you back, these chains are psychological, your mindset. If you're going to impact positively on the Revolutionary Uganda, talking about my feelings to a stranger than it was with the people closest to me helped me, I believe. So, lastly, prayer. I was constantly keeping faith, trusting God to give me the power to heal, have courage, faith in life. My faith was never putting into something else but God. So I encourage you all to choose the revolutionary path of healing your mindset and stick to it. You must have faith in the process. Focus on the chosen path. If you've chosen that you need to liberate Uganda or liberate yourself, and because liberating Uganda is really a personal journey as well as a community, as well as a national, a together journey. It's also on a personal level. You need this to build your confidence, your resilience, emotional intelligence by freeing your mind first if you were to fight for your freedom and that of Uganda. I am now confident enough to share my story with you. Although not immune to further challenges, I have faith, belief in the power of God, myself that I can achieve anything that I put my mind to. My hope is that this story will give you, or a little girl or boy somewhere out there, the courage to keep on keeping on, no matter the adversities. My prayer is that my story will give you hope to keep dreaming, or use whatever means to dream or build those castles in the air, as dreams do indeed come true. I give encouragement to those adults, carers of the little girls or boys out there, to make sure you give the children the best start with the environment in which they can continue to build those castles in the air, and radically changing the way you live as a parent, role model, a citizen, your behavior, your attitude, your habits. This may be all they need to save their future selves from destructive behaviors. It is said it does not go wrong but starts wrong. It is the quality of child's early childhood that is the most important, as it nurtures their mindset to have freedom to dream, hope, be peak performers. I know this because I was once that little girl whose thoughts saved. I, Sophia Sebi, daughter, sister, mother, great aunt, social work professional, seeker of justice, I testify today that my thoughts indeed saved me. my attitude towards life of optimism, positive thinking, is always life's attitude towards me. You too, your mind could save you if you only started to believe in yourself. Believe in yourself more and not allow your environment, the material things, the friends, the family, politicians, money, blame, dictate your present and future. Remember, if you do not take care of your mind, someone else will. We have seen very clearly someone else is taking over our mindset as a Ugandan people, as a Ugandan community. Other people are thinking for us. They're thinking what sort of healthcare we should have. They think of what sort of social care system we should have. They choosing what hospitals we should have. We are the undeserving. And it all starts with mindset. Because we let them, we gave them the power. We gave them the power that it all starts, that it's okay to be treated this way, or it's okay to be treated that way. It all started with mindset. You can choose what sort of education your child should receive. You should choose which hospitals, which sort of healthcare system. You should choose who governs you. We should choose what government system we want. So I conclude, this is my story. And I'm also going to be sharing another story. It's a poem, in fact. It's a poem which you see on screen. And it's a poem by Georgia Barbara. I am hoping, Georgia, you're listening, and that I will do this story justice, or this poem justice. I am going to read, and I think that will conclude our show. But as I read Georgia Barbara's poem, so I would like to appreciate you, Georgia Barbara. Thank you so much. And all the other women and men who are in this revolution, who have contributed. So I'm hoping next time we will have one piece of writing or one piece of story to share that you have written. Maybe that will inspire you. Maybe this poem Georgia has written will inspire you to also contribute to our country, to the self. So here it goes. The story is Uganda. The poem, I beg your pardon. The poem is Uganda, Uganda, I stand for you. Dear my Uganda, I stand for you. I cry for you. Though my tears are so much deep in my heart, though my mouth is covered with a mask, where my freedom is colorblind or came colorblind, I forgot how to walk on the streets of my free land. If we could go to the next slide, please. My Uganda, I stand for you. Tears for my Uganda. I stand for my Uganda. I can't speak in my own country. I can't suggest in my own words, or in my own country, I beg your pardon. I can't breathe in my own country. I can't educate in my own country. I can't drink, eat in my own country. I can't sleep, rent, pay my own bills in my own country. I can't work in my own country. I can't afford nothing. Nothing. Next. My Uganda, I stand for you. Where do I stand in my own country? Whom am I in my own country, Uganda? In my own country, Uganda, I am a prisoner for my rights. By men in unknown army uniforms and police uniforms, speaking a foreign language, shooting, killing, torturing innocent, humble Ugandan citizens. For them are protected by the corrupt unknown president, corrupt ministers, the corrupt government, corrupt politics, or corrupt politics parties. They have robbed my happiness. They have robbed my rights as a citizen of Uganda. I only have words I know is rest in peace. My Uganda, my country, I stand for you. I stand for my Uganda to the end. The killings of Ugandans, the corruption, the kidnappings and human trafficking, robberies, I shout loudly. Let's stand together as one Uganda. Our beautiful Uganda needs you and me. I stand firmly on my Uganda's soil with the fist of my right hand, shouting with pride, revolution for my country, Uganda, revolution for Ugandans, for God and my country. I do hope that you have enjoyed the show today, and I hope that your attitude towards life is life's attitude. And remember, your attitude towards life is life's attitude towards you. So take care and be very, very vigilant with your mind, with what you feed your mind. Be good to yourself. Like Maya Angelou said, if I am not good to myself, how can I expect anyone else to be good to me? So I will leave some few words here. So from it's a Bible quote. It's in St. Paul's, not sure exactly which verse, but I wanted to leave it with you. And I wanted to leave it with you, of course, we trust in God. Whatever that may mean for you, it might be the God of Allah, the God of Islam, the God of Christians, the God of whichever religion you were, or faith. There's a higher being that you trust in. So my Christian faith, according to St. Paul's, he says, which was an inspiration from one of the motivational speakers, I think, I'm not sure if anyone would know Jake Ducey, but he says that which is seen does not come from that which appears. That which is seen does not come from that which appears. So whatever you see, there is a spiritual it. Whatever you see, there's a spiritual it. And you need to remember that your mind which is your spirit, creates first, and then you see. So imagine if you create bad vibes, a bad attitude, or negative attitude towards life, that will be coming back to you because you created it. So I appreciate you all at UNN. Season's greetings. All those who celebrate Christmas, a Merry Christmas to you. And all those who don't, season's greetings. Have a restful night. And remember, it's time for reflection. What is your mindset going to be? Is it going to be of a negative attitude or a positive attitude? Remember, you create what you become. We create what we become. Have a good evening. May God bless you all. Bye.